Hey guys, Ian Fernando here with Affiliate Business Conversation, and I have a really interesting special guest here today with me. The reason why it's special is because we've actually just pretty much reconnected a couple years ago. I've actually went with Jaivon to college. I've only been to college for one year, two semesters. I met Jaivon at Lock Haven on the second semester of my college years, and I thought this would be a great conversation to discuss about like, hey, um, the two different types of lifestyles that we have, the education that we have, and what we saw in each other to prosper in life. Right? It's been I don't even know how long it's been since college. I don't even think about it in my head, and I figured it'd be great to catch up with him to discuss about his successes, our successes, the differences in our successes, and what we've been up to. So, how you doing, Javon? How's everything?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
No problem, no problem. It's all good. I wanted to, talk about what you've been up to, basically catch up and see, what you've been up to actually. You know what I mean? So, like, let's start from the beginning, from how we basically met at Lock Haven. I believe you came second semester at Lock Haven. Um, we were part of like Black Student Union, the gospel choir, and all these other groups just to stay connected. So tell us a little bit about the college years, or remind me of the college years.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. So I did start in the spring semester. I know prior to getting into college, I was sitting there, I was working at McDonald's, and I just knew that I really wanted to go to school. I did really well in high school, but I didn't really have that like a group of friends or backing to be like, all right, well, go to college. So I did get an opportunity. Community college told me I had to go through all kinds of prerequisites and stuff like that, and I was like, wait, no, I'm not doing that. So my mom, started taking me on college tours. That in the fall, in between me working, and I was able to get to Lock Haven and find an opportunity. So January started, and I was there. So
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I mean, for me, it was more so like, I just wanted to get away as far as possible from my parents. I actually got accepted in college in New Jersey. I was like, nah, I can't be in the same state with them. Let me go out, and Lock Haven was it. You know what I mean? So
right.
my first semester, it was interesting, just meeting a lot of people. Very white concentrated college. I think there was like a hundred plus just faculty and students on campus in itself, and we all bounded together and just created our own little community, which was pretty cool. What was your major at Lock Haven?
Oh, it was so much. I changed it so many times. So I started as athletic training sports medicine. And then that trickled down to pre-physical therapy. And then that trickled down to recreation management. And that's where I ended at.
Nice,
Recreation
nice.
management.
That's cool.
So
I did. I started off with business information, BIM or BIS, business information systems or business information management. Just because I figured my parents were always like, hey, if you're not going to go into nursing, just go into somewhat business, right? And then I guess that's what I did. Again, I couldn't get into accounting. Accounting was my fucking Achilles heel. I couldn't pass it to get the credit to go move on,
mhm.
But you graduated from Lock Haven, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, awesome. Like me, I only stayed for one semester, and let's talk about how important is college education, not just education, but like going to college. Because I'm personally a dropout. I After Lock Haven, I actually went to community college back in Jersey for 3 semesters, and I decided this college life isn't for me. So let's go deep into that. Since you're a graduate, do you think college is important to where you're at right now?
I think it's important. So some people might say it's weird, but not necessarily for the educational component. Because the way the world is today currently, you could read any book or, to find out what it is that you really want to do. But it's just for the networking, you know.
Mhm.
Um, for me, where I found like, lifelong friends, is where I found individuals that, helped me become the person I am today. The classes and stuff like that, that's like standard, right? But it's
Yeah.
the experiences and the interactions that you have with individuals that teach you life lessons. Some things you can learn, those things without going to college, but it's like getting away and setting yourself apart from your comfort zone and going somewhere else and just like learning who you are. And I think that's the most important part about going away to college.
Yeah, I actually think that is the only important factor of college, right? You actually go and you try to discover, separate yourself, figure out your personalities, see what you have priorities over what. I know for me, it was more so like, man, I just need to get away from this bubble that my parents had me in, this Asian mindset of like, oh, you need to be a nurse, you need to do this, right? And I went to college and yeah, all that went out. My first semester, I just partied. I didn't even really care too much about grades. I'm like, wait, my mom's not in the background telling me I have to be home by X amount, right? Fuck it, I don't care. Let's do it, you know. And yeah, obviously, meet all these friends that encourage you to do more. You know, like we have like I mean, Mitch is now like a pastor. Brandon and his family. You know,
Right.
all these great people that we met. And yes, you're right. Especially getting into like um, the community part of Lock Haven, like we were doing the Black Student Union. We had the dance hall that you guys made, right?
PGs
Uh,
at their little parties.
yeah, yeah, the Singh Gentlemen, the Singh Gentlemen, yeah, exactly, yeah, and the gospel. It was all great. You know what I mean? Now, after all that, after college, the reality, not reality, but more of like I guess the fun educational part of college. You're a graduate. I'm not. I got stuck into this mindset where like, oh man, I'm moving back with my parents. My parents are nagging me. And then they kick me out and I have to survive, right? In your instance, after you graduated college, um, what happened? Like, did you get a job right away? Were you put into like some sort of maybe college training program where they find you a job? Let's discuss that.
So it was a reality check for real. Because in school, I was trying to strive to be like the best person I could possibly be, right? Running for student body government and being part of all these organizations and stuff like that. And I was almost like on a high, and after graduating, it was like everything went like flatline. It was like hopefully you're back into the real world, like this.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it matters, but it doesn't matter at all. So it's just like, what do I do now? So like I felt, in high school I was really, really, really quiet. So I ran track and I hung out with like the track team, and that was like my only like really close knit friends in school. Outside of, like my friends from the neighborhood, but I was very quiet. So coming into Lock Haven, my goal was like, okay, I gotta get out of this shyness, and I think I did a really good job, like a really
I
good
think you really
job.
do. I mean, you're always the front line at DG clubs or whatever, you know.
I was like, put myself out there. But after I graduated, and I was just like, I came out like, yeah, and I was just like, I can't find a job, and I ended up working at, for Abercrombie as a manager, for a little while, and totally unrelated to whatever my degree was about. And it just so happened I needed money to pay for my car, insurance and stuff like that, because I was still doing an internship, and
Mm.
and I just went from working on the sales floor to a manager, and then it's maybe 2 years later before I even got into my field.
Oh wow, damn. So you, I mean, at least your college degree gave you the job that you was, I guess, went to college for, right? Technically.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So, were you passionate about that position?
Ah, so so like how you go to school for something for all this time and you finally get to work in the field. And there's aspects of it that are rewarding, and then there's aspects of it like, what is going on? Like, why did I
Yeah.
choose this? Right. So yeah, my excitement came from working with the individuals. So y'all, in some shape, form, or fashion, I've always worked with individuals who either have a disability or in that category. And so that's the rewarding part, to work with them and help them get through some things and stuff like that. But I wasn't just really good with like the systematics of it and the uh the politics with people. And I was like, this is people lives, and y'all want to politic with people lives? Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
life
do
though. It's crazy, you know.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, so like for me, after college, after my year and a half of community college, I was like, man, I gotta figure this out. I gotta, and then I was actually fortunate. I mean, I was actually working three jobs, like being a waiter on the weekends, a customer service rep, and I was actually a Walmart human resource manager. And I was actually pretty good at both the Vonage call center because I actually rose up from call center agent to a data analytical person, to handling like IPs and call technicians and all that. And then even with Walmart, I was even opening up stores in our region. So I was actually super excited about that, but then I was also super tired, right?
Mhm.
So I had to look at like, man, I can't do this forever. I can't work two jobs forever. I couldn't imagine this would be the American dream. You know what I mean? So I had to look at it and be like, okay, let me just Google some stuff online. And at this time, I actually had a wireless repeater on my wall and just stealing people's Wi-Fi's just because I couldn't afford the internet back in the day, you know. So at that point, I was able to find like, hey, let me do stuff online, and eBay was my first position, not really position, but more like reselling stuff on eBay. And it was pretty amazing. It was good. The fact that I can just buy stuff and resell it on eBay. It was pretty much my first online dollar. The only difference was that I grew that to a pretty good scale that people wanted to order in bulk, right? Certain products like well, I was hustling sneakers back in the day since I was a sneakerhead, and people would wanted to buy orders from Philly to Santa Monica, and then I
Mhm.
couldn't get orders in time. So I was like, you know what? How do I make money online without customers? And this is how I got into affiliate marketing. My affiliate manager showed me how to make money online, and from there on, it became a different story, right? It's great to see that we have two different various perspectives of the education and the drive to do more. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But you're saying right now, you said that you went to college that you're not even using your current position right now. You're not using your college degree currently. Is that right?
Well, right, yeah. Well, so when I look at it, I find myself like in positions where I'm monitoring different systems, and depending on where I'm working. So it started off at Abercrombie. And, everybody who ever walked into an Abercrombie store know that you walked in there, the shirts are like, you know,
Yeah.
perfectly folded, everything's, so like that started my love for systems. So no matter what role I found myself in afterwards, I always found a system to fix,
Yeah.
based on my love of structure, and how Abercrombie like essentially taught me how to do it. So I utilized the degrees in a different way than I thought that I would have. So I thought I would be doing a lot of direct care, which I do, but I find myself dibbing and dabbing in a lot of systems. So whether it's the rehab hospital I worked in, or the psych hospital that I worked in, or even my current job right now as a program manager, I go in and I tear apart people's systems, and then I put it back together to make it flow better.
Yeah, nice, nice. I mean, I think life has to be systematic, right? Once, like I need to be routine. I have to have routines and systems in my life and in business at times because my mindset, my mind, being such a huge extrovert, um, gets so broken up if I don't have a system to be like, oh, hold on, where am I at in my system? Where am I at in my routine? Did I go to the gym? Did I have my three lunches? I mean, three meals for the day, et cetera, et cetera. Then I kind of get broken up. My mind starts to wander, and I kind of have that, right? Um, how do you create your systems for your life? Do you have a routine during the day?
For me, yeah. So what I've done recently, actually, I started getting up at 5. So I get up
Jesus,
at
earlier than me. Fuck.
5. I get up at 5, and from 5 to 5:30, I'm like making my shakes for the day. I'm getting my lunch and stuff prepared and getting all that thing situated. And then at 5:30 to 6 o'clock, I meditate. So like half
Oh,
meditation, half stretching. I'm trying to get into this yoga.
yeah, nice, nice. But I mean,
Um,
you were always such a fit person. I remember in college just because dancing. Did you do sports in Lock Haven?
yeah, I ran track. I was
Okay,
very
okay. Okay, yeah, I don't remember it. Well, yeah, you're always pretty fit, so you're always pretty active. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm actually trying to get into meditation, or I do meditate, stretch, yoga in the morning ish. I do like a 10-minute thing I watch on YouTube.
Mhm.
But I definitely need to be more consistent. I do more the meditation at night to calm my mind before I go to bed. That's pretty good. So, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I interrupted your
No,
routine.
it's good. It definitely helps. Because I wasn't really into it before, and sometimes I'm like, "Am I even doing this right?" Just
Yep,
sitting
exactly.
there. But I have my earbuds, and I tap into, like, I just go to YouTube and I just find something, and I just sit there and just allow myself just to be in that space in that moment for a time being. Throughout the day we can get pulled in so many different directions by so many
Yeah,
different people. It's a part of my day where it's just mine, and I
true.
just embrace it fully. So since I've started doing that, I've been very like at peace and coasting through like the rest of the day, which is really good. So, but
Well,
after I get up,
you're a peaceful person. You'll always be a peaceful person.
right? At
Like
least I
you never
try to be.
start anything. Yeah. I remember we had fights in Lockhaven and you just be in the background or
I was like,
so
I don't like that.
exactly. So why do you think like college, high school, middle school, elementary school like don't teach some of these important things? Like I feel like this is super important for students to understand like it shouldn't be about the end. I mean, it should be about the end goal, but I think to get to the end goal, there are these many processes like the
Mhm,
meditation. I think it's super important how to have your mind, body, and soul, at least your mind and your body physically active, right? So let's go into that. Why do you think we Americans, specifically Western culture, don't teach it? Whereas I know in Vietnam, they do exercise in China and Japan, they have this meditation stuff. So it's very interesting just
mhm.
to get into.
So I think that you saw the movie The Matrix, right?
Yeah,
So I feel like society is the Matrix in a sense.
interesting.
And once you try to get out of the matrix, that's when stuff starts happening to you, right? And everybody wants to come after you because you have this different way of thinking, different way of seeing. Your perspective is different than what everybody else is doing, right? Um, I think society is one big system, and we're taught from a very young age to plug into this system.
Yeah,
The system doesn't always work, and it doesn't always benefit everyone. Most the people that I listen to, like the Les Browns and the Jim Rohns and the Zig Ziglars, and um, you unplugged from the system and said, "I'm not going to do it this way," and was highly
that's true.
successful, right? And sometimes when you talk to individuals about unplugging from the system, which is like, have you thought about this, or you have like entrepreneurs, or you have opportunities like multi-level marketing, and you introduce that to somebody and they're like, no, that's this and that's that, because it's not part of the system that they were taught, right? So they reject it,
Mhm.
people. So when it comes to society and going to school and all this stuff, they don't I believe that they don't teach those things because they want people to stay in the system. I feel that, like, my partner's an educator, and he tries his best to teach people about his class about economics and how to flip houses, and looking at the different things that they don't really show in the curriculum because it's an elective course. You have
Correct.
to do that,
Yeah, yeah,
right? But they don't want to teach that because then everybody will have this heightened amount of knowledge now, be able to
yeah,
think for themselves independently now. um, so yeah.
yeah. I definitely agree. But do you not think that we now have so much access to education that is too much information for certain people? Like people take things way out of hand sometimes. Just say like let's just you mentioned MLM, right? There are a lot of things about MLM that are good and bad. Well, network marketing. There's a good way of network marketing, right? And then there's like a really bad side, right? For
Mhm.
somebody to choose with the amount of information that we have, how do they judge which is good and bad, right? They don't have the experience of, hey, I don't have this experience of doing sales, aggressive sales, or doing multi-level marketing. How do I know if this is going to be good for me? And this is, I think, where the loss of communication is. Being too exposed is not good, but not being exposed is also not good, right?
Right.
Because you're right, being in a system where we're taught to just go on conveyor belt and just go in a straight line, and people just push us to our destination is the safest way that things people look at, and that's what people like, safe things. I mean, unfortunately for me, it was I I understand my parents' scenario why they came and why they wanted me to go a safe route. But presented the opportunity to be in America gave me options, right? Exploring every option was technically impossible, but at least having a piece of every option gave me an idea of what might be. And I think that's what's important for society to understand the idea of what might come to them if they put X amount of work. Yeah. So
Right. Right. I mean,
I,
it is a lot of information, and you're right. You can't necessarily visit or explore all of it all at once. I agree. I do agree. But the system is made for us, like you said, a conveyor belt. Um,
yeah.
you just put us on there, and we go through the system, just like do, 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 do.
Yeah. I mean,
um,
if everybody had information to make money online, I mean, we're actually in the best year right now to really generate income for ourselves, right? The problem is a lot of people hate risk. You know what I mean?
right.
Um, like everybody hate, like a huge portion of society hate risk, and fear is also the biggest issue. Luckily for me, I think I had so much fear for my parents that I'm so immune to it. That like, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna die. It's cool.
Mhm.
No one's more scared. No one's more scarier than my mom. It's right. So that's how I look at it. Right. It's like, oh, you have a gun in my face. My mom was scared the shit out of you. That scenario, right? But like this path of life journey after college is a very difficult one for a lot of people, right? Are you satisfied currently with what you have where you're at right now?
No, I don't think I'm. No, no, I'm not satisfied. Always feel like there's so much more that I could be doing. Um, uh, I think we as people we change all the time.
Yeah.
Our mindset changes based on our experiences, based on the people that we interact with, and we're definitely not the same people. Like I know I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago. I'm not the
But
same
was it
person.
that long since we went to college?
No, oh
No.
no, been longer
No.
than.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, hold on. Wait, 7 years ago? Wait, no, I was in. Yeah, no. I actually started traveling. I started traveling 7 years ago.
Right. Well, I graduated '07. I graduated from Life Haven.
Jesus, that
Right.
is yeah, that is long. Okay, continue your story, sir.
But we continue to change and evolve. And one of the things that a few of my friends tell me all the time, because I'm always like, oh man, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And they're like, friend, like, listen, like, you're doing really great. Like, give yourself the grace, you know, to accept where you are in life and all that you have to do to get where you are. Sometimes we feel like we have to be at a certain place at a certain time. And if it doesn't work, like we're all up in arms about it, but we have to give ourselves the grace and to understand that we're still learning and we're still growing and we're still evolving into the person that we're going to become. We have not arrived yet.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that is so true because I'm currently stuck in this mindset of like I've done this, I've done that. What is next after my life, right? With my success and failures, the result of me being stuck in life because I've done everything that everybody wants to do, or is there something that I can contribute? Right now, I'm in this mindset of like, what can I contribute instead of what can I take? And I'm trying to see where my contribution of my experience can be beneficial for, I guess, the world or whatnot. I don't know. I'm still lost in this journey of life, right? I don't even know if I want to, right? It is something that I think is the next mindset for me to go to. But again, this is a journey that I'm always questioning every day. It's the reason why I travel because I want to see people in their elements. I want to see, oh, why is this person like in the Philippines? You see
Mhm.
poor people super happy. And I'm like, I don't understand their happiness, but right, they're just happy that they're able to eat. They can see the next morning, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Even though this kid that's is running in the street with just a t-shirt on, and he just looks at his son and just like, I'm like, I don't get it, right? But I do get it now because of the experience that I've had through traveling, right? So this is where my mindset. I'm trying to figure out why am I so I mean, I'm currently not satisfied with life in my position. It's just
Mhm.
what is the next version of me, and that's where the questions come up from. But how do we get to that? That becomes a controversial scenario to discuss.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's almost like you really got to do a deep dive, and then that's one of the reasons I started in like meditation to be quiet inside myself to figure out like what is it do I want, because it's like there's so many things that's trying to pull you in so many different directions in the world, and sometimes I ask myself like why am I doing this? Is this for me or is this for somebody else? Like do I really want to do this?
yeah,
And with work, that's with going out with friends, whatever it is. I'm asking myself these questions now because my happiness, my inner peace is more important to me than anything else that's in this world. Me
yeah.
being happy, and like you mentioned, the kid running around in the t-shirt and just enjoying the sun. I heard stories about I was that kid back in the day. I'm from Trinidad originally, and I used to take off my pants and I used to run around the house naked and outside naked, and I was
Free
free,
will.
right?
Yeah, free
Right.
will. Exactly, exactly.
So in my adult life, as I continue to get older, like I want to be free and not really restrained by what.
I mean, yeah, because society, if you just take off your pants in the middle of the mall and run, I don't know if that's gonna work. You know what I mean? So you might be walking out handcuffed.
Right. Oh
So,
gosh.
but yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see like the different lifestyles we have, but we tend to end up in the same scenario, right? What is making us happy? Where are we at, right? Is college institutions is more parenting able to help this discovery, or do you think this has to be a personal journey on your own? Because there are a lot of kids now that are technically wait, how old are we? Um, I'm 30. I'm 30. How
30s,
old? How old are you? I'm 37, I think.
37. Yeah, just turned 37.
Yeah, so they're kids probably 10 years younger than us. They're adults that live with their parents, and they don't have to go through this weird struggle of self journey where I think our generation we're going through this weird self journey like, damn, this is reality, this is life, right? What are we going to do? Whereas I think kids younger, they still have the comfort of their home, their parent taking care of them and all that, right?
Mhm.
Um, is there anything college institutions, parenting, even friends through your can help guide through a journey of life lessons?
Um, so I think it's my advice. If you're able to stay home with your parents, stay home with them as long as you can.
Oh,
but
really? Wow.
while you're staying home with them, it gives you an opportunity, to build whatever it is that you want to build. To save money, to go to school for something, to start your own business, to use that time effectively. Because you may not be always able to have a parent or parents to stay with to say, okay, well, you can still stay here. Some people have to leave
Interesting.
immediately.
Yeah,
But it's
interesting.
a great opportunity to build. I mean, I've had to move back in with my mom, one time. After college, I went back home, of course, and then I moved out on my own, and then I had to move back, because financial issues, and I think I got laid off from my job at the one point, but it
Oh
was in
man, you're lucky.
right. So I had an opportunity to go back home, and she was like, "Yeah, come back," and it was in that time frame I was able to rebuild. I went back to school. got my master's. I used that opportunity, you know, to propel myself to a next level. Staying home with your parents is one thing when you're just staying there, just chilling, not doing anything.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't recognize the opportunity of it, whether it's saving money, paying off college loans, or whatever the case is. Like you can use it to propel yourself into the next level.
Interesting. Me, I remember I thought I was being successful. I got this like nice place in Jersey. I couldn't pay the rent. I was like, I actually asked my parents if I could move back in, and my mom was like, "Why are you moving backwards in life?" I'm like, she's right. And I didn't move back in, right? I couldn't move back in.
Mhm.
She just told me that the reality is like, so you're moving backwards, not moving forward. And I look at that as like, yeah, that is actually true, right? So then I had to come up with a solution, either work harder, but I actually came up with a solution with the landlord to do some errands with them or whatnot, and that
Mhm.
kind of helped. So it put me in a different thinking scenario. Like the example I give all the time with people is the reason why you want to be piss poor broke with your back against the wall with a gun towards your face because you will immediately think of a solution to your problem, right?
Mhm.
Um, I think my mom's life lessons were very harsh, but it has helped me out, in a way. You know how I wish that the opportunity I had to move back, would I be would I be using that opportunity, like you say, to better myself, go back to school or whatnot? You know what I mean? You took the opportunity to go back to school, got your master's, right? And now you're doing very well. You have your own place right now, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I'm actually with my partner. We live in
Yeah.
Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. I keep forgetting you're in Jersey. That's crazy. What part of Jersey are you in?
I'm in what's it called? Sussex County.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, 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 Jersey City. I'm up there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was such a life lesson learned, and I kind of, when people tell me these scenarios, like you just said, I look at it sometimes like, oh, really? Honestly, why? But they don't use the opportunity like you used it to re-educate, to figure out what you want, and on that, a lot of people just become stagnant. They become
Right.
comfortable, right? And that's not good, right? So, all right, we're coming up on 40 minutes on our little podcast here. It's great chatting it up. Now, what do you think is important for somebody to learn in life? Is college education important? Let's retouch on that, right? And after college, what should they be looking toward to 25 years from now? Let's go there.
Yes, college. I think college is very important. Um, it is. It is a very important.
Just
I
a social aspect.
Yeah, for social and networking, because most
Okay.
most most people thrive because of the networks that they build. Most people,
Yeah, I
some
agree.
people go to college and it's just like, yeah, it's a big party town. They're like, oh my god, I had so much fun, but I didn't finish. And I was like, okay, that's okay too because you still experience stuff, you
Yeah.
know, and it still prepares you to go into life. What to expect after college or after 25 years is you're still not going to know what it is that you want to
That is
do. You're still
that's
not
so true.
going
Yeah,
to
that's actually
know.
true. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like,
That,
like, I
that,
don't know. They're like, I want this, and I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. You're never gonna know because you're always evolving and changing, and you're always it always changes. And I feel like people feel like they're stuck. Like you have some individuals who are doctors, lawyers, physicians, or whatever, and they hate their job, but they feel like it's the only thing that they know how to do you
yeah,
know
yeah.
um but you can change at any moment, any time, to do whatever benefits yourself. So do a lot of personal development, some self digging, and see what it is, who you are, and try to get out of the matrix and of people telling you who you are.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Javon, I appreciate you even being on here for the Philippine Conversations. And for everybody out there, I appreciate you for listening in. Make sure you like, subscribe. Javon, do you have a website? Anybody want to contact you if anything?
Yeah, just hit me up on my Instagram at awake28, AWAKE 28.
All right, man. That's cool. Again, everybody, appreciate for everybody coming in, joining in. Hopefully, the conversation was good. This is with more of a personal touch, doing the argument between college and a dropout, seeing life perspective. And as you can see through this conversation, we actually ended up in the same mindset where we're still trying to figure out what the life journey is. Right. I know I've publicly talked about my issues, and again, we have another person that's successful through college, through his mentorships and his self education. And he's also trying to figure out what is next for the next 25 years. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment below and we'll go ahead and discuss it. So again, guys, appreciate it.